This time we'll see sonar example. You can download this example from GitHub. Then like this you can launch example program. There are 7 examples about sonar. Let's see first page rendering program. This rendering program works if you click one of these, then it requests to server with URL parameter like this. Then server get this request and URL parameter, generate message and information from these URL parameters. This is this examples of code, but let's see this from VI editor for more readability. First of all, look at this URLs orca. It's a URL mapper. It maps this ex1 request to ex1.index member as handler. Orca even handle directory as object if this directory has .orca suffix. And it changes files to this ex1 orca object members automatically. And then now you can see index orca.html. This index orca.html is index object of ex1, which is handler of this URL request. You can see about context extended object from tutorial of 10-minute introduction about orca. Context extended object is means if some files or code is defined as context extended module, orca parser pass that code to them modules, and in this case orca pass this code to HTML module because this file suffix HTML, orca.html, so orca pass this file to orca HTML module. Then orca HTML module make HTML object, return HTML object to orca VM. Then orca parser make orca object. This HTML include pure orca object code. Orca HTML module just parse HTML, pure HTML code. Then orca parser compile this embedded orca object. Then this embedded orca object are inserted to result HTML object as members. Then sonar execute this HTML object, and if there is a dictionary type format string, sonar replace this format string with the result of this same named object. Like this. This object return URL request get URL parameter named name. So we change as below. Then if orca member's name start with embed underbar, orca sonar change evaluate this object with request parameter, then replace each result to HTML content. In this case, request get is blue whale, so it returns this information to result of this object. Then sonar insert this content to here. This is little bit deeper with the traditional web framework development frameworks. Template processing. Template processing is just a string. Then view controller replace predefined text to something. But orca, in case of orca context extended module, it handles HTML as a independent orca object by HTML module. Then it process this object to make HTML result. So this HTML include its relative logic inside. Let's see second example. Second example is list generation. This is source code of this page. This embed object result is this. It use request parameter and traverse request whale map with key and values. Then it changes this key and value with this table rows. In these cases, in this example, request is made by prepare. Sonar execute HTML object prepare members at first time with request. Then in this code, prepare append whale map to this request dynamically, add a new member to request and return. Then sonar call again this HTML module to render final HTML text. Then this HTML execute embed whale list. Then embed whale list traverse whale map and generate whale info. This example add whale map by static code, from static code, but imagine that this information can come from data source. Typical web development framework use looping text to generate list, but in case of sonar, it can embed object logic, object with logic, which can generate final result of HTML table. Let's see next example about forms. This is a simple form processing example. If you add something forms, if you submit forms, it add to these messages. Now look at the code of this page. This embed info form generate these forms. This embed info form inherits forms, HTML forms, then define 4 attributes of forms: name, password, message, and submit button. Then finally it orca-lang execute this HTML module, and this HTML module execute each member. Then if each member start with embed, it insert this object result to final HTML text. Now this form returns render result. This render action, form action is ex3 and send the form result to for next request. In this case, post request about new messages. Now this patch is here. If request type is post and it has name and messages, this object append the new name and message to messages member inside of this object. Then traverse these messages, generate name and content tables like this. Let's see more complex example with message board with ORMs. If you click write new messages, if you submit new message, it saved to DB by ORM modules like this. These messages are already submitted messages by this example. Let's see code of this page. Index ef4.index is this page. If you click this right button, it calls ef4 underbar right object. expo on the right URL request, then expo on the right URL mapper call expo dot right object for as some handlers. Yes, this page defines embed info form like previous example, then it submit form data to expo with post request. Then submitted data passed to this embed board object. Then this embed board object checks if this request type is post and new message exists. If new message exists, this object make new models, post models, and set new post model name subject message, then save new post, then orca-lang save this model to database, SQLite 3 in this case. These model is defined here, expo.models project. This post object inherits ORM models, then define 4 attributes in it: ID, name, subject, message. ID is integer type with primary key and auto increment attribute. Name and subject message are text type attributes. Then this message board traverse models post define the post models with by order by post ID. Then this order by result return post iterator of ORM models. Then if you traverse this iterator with 4 statements, you can get these messages from ORM. Then this object generates these rows with links. If you click this, it requests to expo on the read with ID of these rows. Then URL mapper maps expo on the read to expo.read object. This object get ID from URL request, then find the ORM members by where interface. Models post ID, if models post ID equals with URL request ID. Then it generate message contents. Now we can make a simple message board with Orca sonar. Example 5 is same with expo, but it use this example use tag object to generate HTML tag. previous example. Tag is HTML tag object. If you use like this tag.div, it generates this div tag on this on this point, then close tag with like this on this point. It's called scope object. You can see about this on tutorials. It's almost same with previous example, but if you use like this, you can handle HTML tag with depth and handle this text as an object. Next example, you can see sonar bind JavaScript to this text. Let's see how sonar handles JavaScript. It's a simple example. There are 4 types of handling JavaScript by sonars. Simple JavaScript which hide paragraph text. First one is same with usual HTML programming. Just to insert JavaScript to HTML itself, to HTML. Second one is handle this JavaScript as independent object, independent context extended object. Define html.jQuery. This code is pure JavaScript, and you can assume this will be a jQuery code by seeing this. I recommend you to see context extended object from tutorials about this. If orca saw depth dot something, orca pass this code to this module, and this module pass this code and make orca object about this, then return this object as embed click to hide to orca parser. Then orca parser insert this member to this HTML context extended module. Then this context extended module render final HTML text by calling this object, and this HTML jQuery object return this HTML jQuery text if it is called. It's same with above one, but you can see sonar or programmer can handle this JavaScript as independent object. Third one is binding event to HTML tags. This click me to hide the paragraph is generated with tag. We already saw this from previous example. Then we by chaining we set this tag as id _3, then call again event, then binding event with handler. If we click this paragraph, my hide script handler is called. My hide script object is here. It's pure jQuery context extended object which hide past this DOM object. Yes, it works. Now, how about this? This is finally it makes JavaScript code and HTML tags, but in this time, but you can see this as pure orca code. It's more readable and easy to understand. Final example is same with the third one, but orca program language support lambda object, and lambda object also support context extended object. So you can see this code like this. We made click me to hide paragraph with tag object with id 4, then bind the event click event to this lambda object. If you click this paragraph, this lambda object is called with this id. Sonar and HTML tag library generate automatically about this code. You can make tag like this, tag with something event. Now we can bind the HTML tag with JavaScript easily. Let's see last example. We already made a simple message board. Now we change it to use AJAX request. If you submit new post, partially added to current DOM, and if you click one message, content of this message added to current HTML without pull request. Let's see source code of this page. This embed form is almost the same with the previous example. This post, but submit button is changed. When we click this submit button usually have one parameter for typical HTML example, but if this submit button has two second parameter, if we click this button, on click message event call this submit handler. This submit handler is jQuery context extended object. This handler get form data and serialize it and add Ajax parameter, append Ajax parameter to form data. Then request to this page with post with the Ajax request. Then if success, it returned data, it add this title class, append this return data to next this title. So we new post message appended. If this form request with Ajax parameters, this HTML module get request and sonar call prepare first. This prepare check if post parameter has Ajax URL parameter in it. If so, it calls Ajax write response with this request. Sonar assume that if return or prepare is nil, it call this HTML module to render final HTML text. But if return of this prepare object is string, sonar assume that this return string is Ajax response. So do not evaluate whole HTML object, just return this return of this object. So in case of submit, Ajax write response is called with the request. This Ajax write response make new model post, then set name subject message with post parameters, then call model save to insert new message to database, then call and select new post ID with new post ID from ORM, then generate new post message, then return this new rows to client. Then client append this new message after title. If we click new some message, this board list generate and with event this. If we click one of these message, click handler is called. Click handler is another jQuery context extended object. If this object is called, it save selected DOM to click, then request this page with Ajax parameter and ID of this message. Then then return result of this request get data with the data, then append to click next with this line. If sonar get this request with it check if get URL parameter has AJAX parameter in it. If so, it called AJAX read response. This response, then this response check get URL get parameter with ID, then with this ID search ORM with this ID, model post ID with equal with this ID, then return this message's context as an AJAX response. Then this response is added to next of it. This kind of approach can describe HTML more easily. Sonar can handle HTML as an object, and this HTML object can get related logics as an members in it. I think this is more powerful to make HTML than traditional approach of other web framework, which handle HTML template as just string and make another view controllers. Now we see all Sonar example. Thanks for watching.